The Phoenix and the Carpet. This story is about the adventures of four children. They live with their parents and baby brother. The family also had a cook. The children had their own playroom in the basement of the house. One day, Robert, Siri, Auntie, and Jane decided to test some fireworks they had bought. It was pouring outside, so they did it in their playroom. The children's idea led to smoke, fire, and to ruined playroom carpet. When the last fold of the new carpet had been unrolled, something made a loud sound, as it bumped onto the floor. All the children screamed for it, but Cyril was the fastest. He took it over to the lamp to get a better look. The object was shaped like an egg and was very yellow and shiny. It was made of stone but was half transparent. There was an odd source of light in it that changed as Cyril turned it around in his hands. The egg was put on a shelf above the fireplace to brighten up the playroom. To entertain themselves, the children decided to try to make some magic. They just changed shapes and figures out on the floor with chalk and sang songs, but nothing happened. Still, no magical things happened, as they began waving the clothes around even more widely. "Oh no!" the children cried. "It's not smashed," said Robert as he picked up the egg. It was much harder than it should have been for such a short time in the fire, and Robert had to drop it. The egg fell back into the fire. The children were discussing how to take the egg out of the fire, when Auntie cried out, "Look, look at it!" The egg was now red hot and something inside was moving. All of a sudden, there was a soft cracking sound. The egg burst into and out of it came a flame-colored bird. The bird rose in its nest of fire, stretched its wings and flew out into the room. They could feel warm air as it passed by. Finally, it landed in front of the fireplace. The children looked at each other as Cyril put out a hand toward the bird. The bird put its head to one side and said, "Be careful, I'm not cold yet." As the children stared at the golden-colored bird, Robert said, "I believe I know what it is." Then he hurried away to his father's study to find the picture he had seen before. "My fame has lived on for 2,000 years, said the phoenix. The phoenix was almost cool now, so it flew and settled on the table. Cyril read from an encyclopedia telling everyone what was written about the phoenix. "I am the only bird of my kind in the world," began the phoenix. "Every 500 years I lay an egg, burn myself, and then I go to sleep. I wake up inside the egg and start life all over again," continued the phoenix. "One day, a prince gave me a magic carpet, and because I became tired of being reborn, I laid my egg on the carpet. I told the magic carpet to take the egg to a place where it couldn't hatch for 2,000 years. Then someone would light a fire and put the egg into hatch." What the phoenix said what had happened. "But the carpet," said Robert. "Oh, what? Oh, that?" said the phoenix as it pointed to the new carpet on the playroom floor. "That is the carpet." Just then, the children heard their parents at the front door. "Oh," whispered Cyril. "Now we will be in trouble for not being in bed." "If in a hurry," whispered the phoenix said. "Get on the carpet and whisk yourself there. Then whisk the carpet back to the playroom." The children heard the soft voice of the phoenix through the darkness. "I shall sleep on the certain rail in your bedroom. Please don't mention me to your parents." The next morning, the children went down to their playroom, sat on the carpet with the phoenix and said, "We wish to go abroad. Unfortunately, the first adventure has some problems." Jane wished the carpet to land on the tower, which turned out to have no roof. The carpet and 3 of the children ended up at the bottom of the tower. Robert got stuck on a window sill and they descended. So Cyril whisked the carpet back up to get him down. That means the children had made 3 wishes so far. When the children tried to whisk themselves home, nothing happened. With the help of the phoenix, the children and the carpet finally returned home. The next day, after seeing the mud on the carpet, the cook became angry and complained to the children's parents. Since the children couldn't explain how the carpet had gotten covered in mud, it was locked away for a week. Never mind, said Auntie, we have the phoenix. Unfortunately, the phoenix was nowhere to be found. Everything suddenly changed from the wild beauty of magical happenings to a common ordinary life. Alas, on Saturday, the carpet was returned to their playroom. Their baby brother had a very bad cough, so they decided to go to a place where his cough would get better. They dressed in their outdoor clothes because they didn't know what kind of climate they would be going to, and Phil rushes through the house in one last attempt to find the phoenix. It's no use waiting for us, she said, but I know it hasn't deserted us. It's a bird of its word. Quiet so, said the gentle voice of the phoenix from another table. Everyone fell to their knees and looked up. I have been here all the time, said the phoenix, jawing portly behind its claw. The phoenix flew over and settled on Robert's wrist. The children sat on the carpet and were about to make a wish, when the cook came bursting into the room. Auntie tried to apologize, but the cook was so angry that she didn't want to listen. The cook then asked why they were all dressed in their outdoor clothes. Before the cook could ask any more questions, Auntie said, I wish we were on a sunny southern shore where our baby brother's cough would stop. In an instant, they all felt as if they were being flipped up, spinning around and then falling. The instant the movement stopped, the cook opened her eye, let out a very loud scream and then shut her eyes again. They were sitting in a sunny beach with sand the color of gold, and they were in the hottest weather they could imagine. There were green slopes and a forest behind them, as well as sparkling blue sea in front of them. The cook opened and closed her eyes 2 more times, screaming each time she did. This must be a dream, the cook said at last. Cyril and Robert tried to tell her that it was real, but she became upset and angry. Calm down, the phoenix said to the cook. When the cook saw who had spoken to her, she said, a talking bird, this must be a dream. The children removed their outdoor clothes because it was too hot. They decided that the safest thing to do with the carpet would be to leave the cook sitting on it. The children then left to explore inside the tangled maze of trees in the forest. The phoenix flew up, it came back and told them where a path was. There were a lot of huts with point shrubs. They knew at once that this must be the hut of savage. Jean was scared because she thought the savage might eat them. Just then, a tall man with hardly any clothes on came out of one of the huts. He was holding a spear. The man said something that children couldn't understand. More people came out of the huts. They turned around and ran back along the forest path to the beach. The children could hear the savage running after them. They arrived at the beach to find no cook, no clothes, and no carpet. The children ran into the sea because they thought the savage would hate water. The savage stopped at the water's edge, pointing and talking excitedly. Look, said the phoenix. What are the savage pointing out? The children turned to the left and saw a head with a white cap on it. It was their cook. They hurried over to her. Where is the carpet? Asked Robert. And why are you in the water? I was hot, so I said, I wish I was in a cold bath. But, she said the cook. Just like that, the carpet had taken her to the nearest and luckiest bath which turned out to be the sea. The carpet was under the cook in the water. Excuse me, said the phoenix, but I think these people want your cook. To eat, whispered Jane. Not to eat, replied the phoenix. They want to make her their queen. Since they now know the savage wouldn't eat them, the children lift the carpet and carry it onto the beach. The children couldn't understand why the savage wanted their cook as a queen. The phoenix explained that the savage had an ancient prophecy. The prophecy had been fulfilled by the cook being carried out of the sea with her white cap on. She returned to the cook and explained what the savage wanted. The cook said, I've always wanted to be a queen. She thought it was all still a dream, so she quickly accepted the offer. The people from the village emerged from the forest with flowers for their new queen and began to dance. It was a dance that the children had never seen. It made them feel as if they were in a dream. The children decided it was time to go home. They put on the outdoor clothes and said farewell to the cook, who was being led away to her new home. Auntie said home, and the intelligent carpet, in one whirling movement, laid itself down on the playroom floor. The children's parents couldn't understand what had happened to the cook, and the children said nothing. She had been worrying about the cook. She wished herself back to the southern shore. Athens felt satisfied when she saw that the cook was happy, so she sat on the carpet and said home. Thanks for your listening.